reading inventory, you are looking to see what kinds of errors they are making. Sometimes we don't even call their errors errors. We call them miscues. Miscues. Because when we read, we are using one of 3 cueing systems. Hopefully all 3 of the cueing systems. There are 3 systems of information that are available to us when we are reading. So let's take this sentence right here. The blank hopped down the lane. The blank hopped down the lane. What could go into this blank? Bunny. What else? Frog. Kangaroo. Boy. All right, all of those things could definitely go into that blank. Why? They can all hop. That makes sense, right? You are using words that make sense that can hop. So you are using your understanding of things that can hop. So one of the cueing systems that you have available to you as a reader is called the semantic cueing system. Semantic. S-E-M-A-N-T-I-C. And that is all about what makes sense, the meaning. So when kids are reading, we want them to think about what would make sense right here. We don't want them just to read anything. We want them to always be thinking about the semantic issues. What would make sense? Okay, so you know what I noticed is that none of you said the and hopped down the road. The other hopped down the road. The walk hopped down the road. Why? It doesn't make sense, but why doesn't it make sense? Why would I put the and hop down the road? I need a noun. I need something that can hop, right? I need a certain part of speech. So another cueing system that we have at our disposal that usually by the time we're about 5 is pretty well in place and it's very helpful to us is the syntactic structure, the syntax. And this has to do with grammar, structure, word order. This is what we know about how our language works. Okay, so this is structure and grammar. Okay, so we've got meaning and then we've got word order or structure that can help us. Those are 2 of the cueing systems. Now, what if I gave you a K right there? What would you say goes in that blank? Kangaroo. Probably kangaroo. What did you use to help you figure that out?
The first letter, K, that can hop.
The only thing we know that starts with a K that can hop. So that K, using the symbol, actually the letters of the word, that's our 3rd cueing system. And it has a big, long, fancy name, and I'll write it as big as I can, and it is graphophonic. Okay, and that is all about the symbols. So when our students are reading, we want them to use the graphophonic, the semantic, and the syntactic cueing systems simultaneously. If we have a kid that's just using graphophonic, then they're just calling out the words and they're not worried about whether what they say makes sense or not. If we have a student that's just using semantic and syntactic, then we have a kid who's probably making sense, but not necessarily reading the words that are on the page. So we want them to do it all. You've got to be able to do it all if you're going to be a proficient reader. Now that information is helpful to us when we're thinking about the errors and the miscues that our students make. I mentioned that we call them miscues instead of errors sometimes because really what happens if the word was actually kangaroo and my student said frog, Does it make sense?
Yes.
Does it sound okay structurally? Does it look the same? So it's like they were 2/3 okay, right? And just 1/3 problem. So to me, I would hate to say, man, you got that wrong. I don't know what you were thinking. You're just wrong, or wrong. Right? What would be better would be to say, wow, you said the frog hopped down the lane. That does make sense, and you can say it like that, but this word is not frog. Let's look at the word again and see if we can say the word that's there. So you can validate them for the things that they do well, and then work on the weak areas.